Those of you who feel like this is not going to affect you, I need you to understand. This has already been written.
Here's to the good days, here's to the sorrows. If this is a mistake, I know about tomorrow.
There needs to be more uproar about it. I can only do so much. Share this video out so it gets out to more people, so more people can see that what they are doing right now in these other countries, they will be doing here. Easier doesn't always mean better for you.
Everywhere she goes, Ouyang Haoyu is followed. What she buys, how she behaves, is tracked and scored to show how responsible and trustworthy she is. It's called the social credit system, and in one version now being tested, a person's reputation is scored on a scale of 350 to 950. And Haoyu, with a good score of 752, is okay with it. In fact, most people are.
It's a mechanism like pushes you to become a better citizen.
This is how the manipulation, the brainwashing comes in. They tell you, this will make you a better person. This will make you more aware of what you're doing to the environment, to yourself, to your neighbors, etc. This is going to make you that better person. Obeying these laws that we have in place here. Forget about the Bible. Just obey what we're saying here to do and you'll be okay. You won't be ostracized. You won't be banished from your community.
It's big data meets Big Brother, expanding how the government monitors, understands, and ultimately controls its 1.4 billion citizens. Thanks to advances in artificial intelligence and facial recognition, and a web of more than 200 million surveillance cameras.
Are people bothered by privacy concerns?
We think the lot of camera keep the safety is really good. We can accept it.
Companies are experimenting with the algorithms to help the government create the new national social credit system. The government also has pilot projects. In one, citizens are required to do hours of unpaid work to get benefits.
Well, sounds like what they're doing now with the EBT recipients, right? You got to have so many hours of work before you can get this assistance, and or you can do community service. In other terms, it'll be more like a slave labor type of situation. You're not going to get money, like physical money, but you'll get credits to your digital account.
And scores are docked for things like littering, a messy yard, gossip, even jaywalking. Video of offenders is shown on the local news. And information collectors like Zhou Aini are paid to report on their neighbors. Her quota, 10 entries a month. Like the man who carried a drunk person home. A good deed, she says. Good social credit gets rewarded with perks like cheap loans and travel deals. But a bad score means public shame and worse. Huang Huijun lost a court case and didn't pay. Now he's on a government blacklist. I can't buy airplane or train tickets, he says, and the list goes on. Being discredited makes it hard to get a job or put kids in top schools. The social credit system will go nationwide next year, and few here are willing to criticize it. Something that may pose a risk itself for a bad score and the life that comes with it.
Right now. Didn't somebody say that the revolution will not be televised? So that makes sense because I'm not hearing anything on the television about how Italy is revolting against their government right now. They don't care what side of the aisle these people are on. Left, right, Democratic, Republican. They're in the streets saying they're not going to work, they are not going to pay their taxes, and they are not going into a digital ID. And wouldn't you know it, the mainstream media isn't speaking one thing about it. What's even crazier is they're not even being violent. They're being very calm. They're just not going to do it. They're not going to line their politicians' pockets anymore. They're standing up for their rights, and hopefully that'll catch on. When are we going to realize there's more of us than them?
Now the Chinese are also ranked, given a mark out of a possible 950 points. For now, the number is a sort of bank credit rating, keeping track of everyone's spending habits.
It may seem scary, but it's just like that here. We're used to it, and anyway, we don't have a choice.
If you think this couldn't happen in the West, Ask yourself why so many cameras, smart poles and 5G networks are being installed in your neighbourhood. In London, the police are using facial recognition surveillance. Sainsbury's is already experimenting with AI.
Thank you for waiting. The cabinet will now be opened.
In UK railway stations, surveillance is being tested to collect travellers' data. And in Oxford, these barriers were installed by the council under its so-called 15-minute city plan. They were removed following protests. But look at what's replacing them in these quiet residential streets. As the tech companies are proud to tell us, the possibilities are endless.
He begins to prophesy to them about the signs of the end of the age. And I said to you last week, I said to you this week, and I'm going to say to you next week, man, we are seeing the beginning of these things happening right now in our society. Man, I was sitting with my children last night doing our homework because I gave you homework, you know. And I was sitting with my children right over there reading through Revelation 19, 20, and 21. I let them read and I taught. They read and I taught. They read and I taught. And I made it aware to them. Do y'all see some of these things in this text? I'm showing them videos on TikTok and Instagram. Do you see how some of the things happening in society right now is reading right out of the pages of the scripture and they are shocked, eyes wide open? I'm showing them right now about the increase of another great monotheism that has taken over all of the East, has taken over all of England. It's starting to take over American cities. I read to them in the text, if you did your homework, where it said during the tribulation period, Christians will be beheaded for the witness of Christ. There's only one type of militia, one type of religion that takes joy in beheading other people. It's why they're the fastest growing religion on the planet. And while we play in church and playing conferences and not paying attention, I was showing my children from social media and the scriptures together how right now we see all the pieces aligning all over the earth, God preparing the world for the coming of the Son. The scripture talks about the alliance between Russia and China. They are hidden in biblical prophecy. I showed my children on social media how the president of Russia was just with the president of China just 2 weeks ago while people are not paying attention. I talked to my children about the rise of cryptocurrency and the rise of digital currency and the devaluation of paper money. The scripture tells us in the last days there will be one world currency. Can't have one world currency with paper. That's why we see an increase in digital currency and plastic and cards and tap, forget cash. Let's just tap, forget cash. Let's have crypto, forget cash. It makes it easier for the Antichrist to control the world. And I'm showing my kids from the scriptures and from their phone how God is allowing things right now all over the earth, preparing the world for the coming of the Son, how the words of God is colliding with the things we see. And there is the Lord prophesying about these end times, prophesying about the return of his, and I'm telling you, we're living in the beginning of these times now. We might be the generation that sees the rapture, the tribulation, and the return of Christ, which the Lord said all these things will happen in rapid succession like birth pains. We might be the generation to see all those things. And my question for you is, are you ready?
Here's to the good days, here's to the sorrows. If this is a mistake, I know about tomorrow. I don't wanna fight no more, cause I don't feel the need no more, no. Just wanna make it stop. Maybe it's something in the water, or maybe we just hit the end of the road. Right now it doesn't even matter. It's too late not to let it go. And that's why